Hello and a very warm welcome to SFL Week 3 Sunday slate, coming to you live from the great city of London. Today at Queensway Stadium, the London Knights finally get to take the field in front of their home fans for the first time in 2019, as they also look to get their first win of the new year after an 0-2 start to the season. Today they face a familiar foe as the green and gold St. Louis Gladiators have made the trip across the pond after a 1-1 homestand to start the season. Week 3, Season 12 of the Simulation Football League rolls on right now on YouTube. Good evening, everyone. I am your play-by-play commentator, Michael Cirillo, joined in the booth by Levant Mercer. Levant, it's a tale as old as, about a year ago, but we're ready for a new installment.
It was a cracker of a game. The last time we've seen these two play in week 1 of the regular season at the convention, so this might be just the same.
Two teams with really powerful offenses and defenses that may struggle a bit at the start here as we just get ready for kickoff. Remember, the Simulation Football League is brought to you by APM Music, Production Music Library and Custom Music House, and we are ready to go. In a moment, as we wait for everyone to get set it, now we're ready to go. The kicker, Nate Odell, has the ball on the tee, the whistle goes, and it's game on here from Queensway in London, and the kick is returned up to the 26-yard line by St. Louis. Cody Scott, or Elijah Swaim, rather, returning kicks today for the green and gold. And let's get you through the lineups first for the St. Louis offense. The quarterback is the #1 overall pick in the draft, Moody Mitchell. The running back is Denzel Diaz. The wide receivers are Nick Finch and Badir Ajlouni. And the tight end is Cody Scott as they start on their own 26-yard line, going left to right. Big drop back for Mitchell. Pressure coming, and he's going to go down. He takes his sack on the first play of the game from Slid Shady. Linebacker coming in big for London on the first play. Levant, you still there? We apparently have lost Levant, so we'll work on getting him back in here in just a moment. Second down and 16 now, flare out to the far side to Nick Finch. He's been the go-to receiver for Moody Mitchell so far this season, and he'll get a few of those yards back and set up a 3rd down and 9. Let's cover the London defense now. Well, we will after this 3rd down and 9 play. Four wide for St. Louis. Mitchell moves in the pocket, throws short, and it's almost picked off. Getting in front of the football was Blake Craze, the other linebacker. Both of them made big plays on this drive, and it'll be a 3-and-out. Let's quickly go over the London defense while we still have them here. Safeties Nathan Blake and Jeff Malitishan. Playing his first game in the Simulation Football League is Evan Arthur, the new signing at cornerback, along with Dean Maddox. Blake Craze and Slid Slade are the linebackers, and the defensive tackle is William Davidson. The punter for St. Louis is Bo Zabrowski. And the punt will be fair, caught by London at their own 42. I think we have Levant back now.
That seems to be the case for St. Louis. Sometimes they just don't come out the gates firing.
And now let's see if London can, from their first possession. 10 minutes, 1 second to go here in Queensway in London, just after 7 p.m. local time, as it is only the mid-afternoon back on the east coast of the United States. As a swim move right up the middle and a big run on first down by Reggie Streeter, their rookie running back, as he picks up 7 yards.
This was something that London really didn't have last season. They really didn't invest in a running back position. It really cost them. forcing them to throw more often than not. So we will see a lot out of Reggie Streeter.
Maybe again right now. 2nd down and 3 from midfield. The quarterback, Rob Roby, who came over from San Francisco in the offseason after his rookie year, changes the play at the line, gives to Streeter. He runs left, and he's going to pick up the first down by breaking a tackle. He broke the tackle of the linebacker, Brandon Herron. And let's go over the London offense right now. Quarterback, Rob Roby. Running back, Reggie Streeter. Wide receivers, Ken Macaro. And then the Hands brothers, Donnie and James. On 1st and 10 from their own from the St. Louis 46-yard line. Gladiators showing blitz. They bring 5. Streeter runs right through it and gets to the 2nd level and picks up 6 yards on 1st down.
Just one of those times where the defense picked the right option for the situation, but just couldn't cover the gaps fast enough, and Streeter just found his way through.
A 2nd straight 2nd down and short situation now. Maybe Roby will throw for the first time today. It's been 3 straight Streeter runs to open the game for the London offense. Roby will throw this time. Plenty of time in the pocket, surveys the field, throws, and it's almost picked off. Zachary Bates had the ball in his hand as the pass was intended for Charlie Ballmer, the tight end. And let's go over the St. Louis defense. The safeties are Ethan Kai and Marquise Reed. Corners are Drew Reilly and Colin Douglas. Linebackers Ajamu Afalabi and Zachary Bates. And the defensive tackle is Shane Masters. Now 3rd down and 4. Roby gonna have to complete a pass here. Short drop, fires out to the far side. That pass is complete as Donnie Hands picks up his first completion of the day, and it's good for a 1st down to the St. Louis 31.
And the Hands brothers were the key instruments for this offense last week against Denver. They did not come up with a win, but they both performed very well.
A really high-scoring back-and-forth game as they lost 41-38 to the now 2-0 Denver Nightwings. But another 1st down for London. The promising first drive here at the St. Louis 31. Roby back to pass over the middle. Caught. 1st down and more. Inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And that's the other Hands. That's James makes his first catch. Picks up a 1st down as well. So he says, anything you can do, brother, well, I can do better.
This right here just coming underneath, severing the defense right nicely, right through the soft spot of the zone right there.
Into the SFL presented by APM Music Red Zone for the first time today. London brings out the I formation with 2 receivers right. Handoff Streeter following the fullback. He has space. He breaks a tackle and he almost gets a 1st down. He'll pick up 9 yards down to the 9. And Reggie Streeter, there is no answer for the Gladiators defense for Reggie Streeter right now.
It just seems like the Gladiators are selling out for the pass. And while last season that would have been the right thing they do, they forget that Streeter is a dangerous weapon out of the backfield.
Now 2nd and 1 from the 9. Looking to strike first here. Roby, jump pass over the middle. That one's almost picked off. Ajabu Afalabi bats it to the turf, and now both linebackers have had their hands on the ball here in the early going, but neither of them have come up with the pick.
I feel like a lot of this play was predicated on Roby having happy feet. He wasn't ever set in the pocket, undersold his receiver, and Afalabi had made a wonderful play. Look where he was, look where he ended up.
Jumped the route to perfection and denied James Hands a chance at a touchdown. Now 3rd and 1 from the 9. They may just go to Streeter here to pick up the yard they need to continue the drive. They are in the offset I formation, offside to the weak side, and Streeter will get the ball right up the middle, 1st down and more, to the 7-yard line as he's tackled by Colin Douglas.
That just seems to be what London wants to do. Anytime Roby puts them in danger, just give it back to Streeter and try to bail them out.
In London, we've seen from this season that their offense can put up a lot of points, and I think it's really going to hedge on both teams' defenses, which ones can get stops. And right there, Curse of the Caster hits Streeter as he's locked for a loss by Bo Knowles.
Well, that right there, the defense just shifted off to the weak side, covered their gap and assignments perfectly, and did get in the backfield that time.
Now 2nd and goal from the 7. Roby looking, pressured, now throws out to the far side, cut at the 2-yard line, and down right there is Donnie Hands. It was close to a touchdown, but he couldn't turn the corner. And that's been a theme I've seen through basically all the teams this season, that a lot of quarterbacks, especially when throwing out routes, aren't really getting them in front of the receivers. And a lot of receivers are having to go back to the ball, and we'll cover that, I'm sure, later. But now it's a 3rd and goal from the 2. Outside Streeter. Can he turn the corner? Yes, he can. Put it on the board. A walk-in touchdown. The London Knights take the lead.
I just feel like St. Louis just didn't cover the flats on this play. As you would see, he's just wide open in the end zone. They have all of the members of their defense deep inside the red zone and left Streeter free to go for an easy touchdown.
He was free to dance right into the end zone, and as he tiptoed the sideline on the far right-hand side, and they'll give it up to Nate Odell to try the extra point. This last week, St. Louis came off an entertaining 28-37 loss to Oklahoma City after winning their first game, as the extra point is up and good. 5:25 to go first quarter. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. London leads St. Louis 7-0. Stay with us. And a great drive by London in the early going, right what they need to set the tempo.
I just feel like they looked at what Oklahoma City did last week, saw that Streeter was, a similar type back, and that seems to be their plan of attack this week.
Right up the middle, back to the 30 on the return goes Swaim, and the SFL is sponsored by APM Music, production music licensing, custom music house, Bit Central by Fuel, transforming SFL media in 2019. Harry's, all you need for a close, comfortable shave. Matt Doyle Designs, the official design partner of the SFL. We thank all of our sponsors for proudly supporting the Simulation Football League. Empty set for Moody Mitchell on first down from his own 30. Pressure coming. He gets the pass away over the middle. That pass is caught. First down and more up near midfield. Put him down at the 46-yard line. Aj Looney makes his second catch of the day and gets the first move of the chains for St. Louis.
Now, on the last drive, this ended up as a coverage sack, but this time he had all the time to throw. Davidson couldn't get around, found Afolabi, and there was just a player on the London defense that just seemed to stand right where he was assigned and just didn't do anything about Afolabi until it was too late.
Trips left, single right on 1st and 10, approaching midfield at the 46-yard line. Mitchell under center, Diaz alone in the backfield. Diaz will get the ball, running left side, and he's going to be eaten up after a gain of 2. Good defense by the London Knights. Even Arthur makes his first SFL tackle.
This was just recently signed this week, and I feel like he's going to make up for Dodd's departure.
They'll spread it out here, I formation with 3 receivers on 2nd and 8, and a flare out to Diaz, and he had nowhere to go. It was Slyn Shady and Arthur again combined to make the tackle. Only a 1-yard gain that time, puts him in 3rd and long.
Well, Slyn Shady is going to be everywhere where the ball is. You saw on the first drive when he got the sack, but he's an all-purpose type of linebacker. Great in coverage, great at tackling the ball carrier, and has relentless pressure on the quarterback.
Mitchell throws down the middle, tipped and almost intercepted. It was tipped by Jeff Belitishin and almost into the hands of Nathan Blake.
Now, there are times I feel like there should be late hits called, and that right there, I just don't think the refs just saw it. I don't agree with not calling it there. You saw the hit at the end, and they just let it go.
Well, the The stripes looking the other way on that one, which brings an end to another St. Louis drive. That punt almost blocked, but it did get it away, Zabrowski, and he pins London inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. And I don't know, it feels like something hasn't clicked yet for the St. Louis offense. And reminder, this is an offense that scored 28 points last week, so they can put up some numbers.
It just seems to be a bit of some early quarter struggles for them.
Let's see if London can extend the lead with another nice long drive. This time from their own 19-yard line. Streeter gets the ball, runs through traffic, and eventually is bowled over by Colin Douglas, but not before he gets 6 yards.
You know, at the beginning of games, you know, both teams are just trying to get their game plan, you know, settled. You know, they've been practicing all week for these games, and usually in the first 2 quarters, you try to, you know, just carry out the script of your game plan.
Offset eye, 2 right, none left. Defense showing pressure. They bring the pressure, and oh, it's a fumble on the play. Who's going to dive on it? It's London. Reggie Streeter lost the football, and Joshua Payne, the right guard, dove on it and saved the drive for the Knights.
Right there, it's just a case of trying to do too much. Lost his grip on the football. Someone got a hand to it, and it ended up on the turf. Not too often you see the same team that turned it over get it right back.
Now a 3rd and 1 situation. They're going empty backfield. Streeter on the sidelines. Roby looking, dart down the middle. First down and more up towards the 42-yard line. That was a very impressive catch by Charlie Balmer, his 2nd of the game for the tight end spot.
Here it just seems like the pass was a bit rushed, but it was right on time. Look at how Balmer just absolutely takes on his man and grabs the ball here.
Right over the outstretched hands of Ajabu Afalabe, who couldn't knock it down. So a new set of downs for London on their own 42-yard line, 4 wide, 3 left, single right. Roby in this empty set again. He's going to go deep. He's going to go way behind the defense. There goes James Hands. 15, 10, 5. Oh, down at the 8-yard line. It was a tremendous effort by Ethan Kai to come over and prevent the touchdown, but a big play from London puts them in striking distance.
Well, let's just look at these magnificent hands here. Once again, it's just James Hands by himself. Over the top of the defense, probably on a cover 1, left the safety on an island, and you just can't do that with Hands. You cannot do this. Leaving him alone on the island is just going to have him conquer it easily.
And he shook the tackle of Colin Douglas, rather, one of the most veteran players in this league. So some great power by James Hands after the catch, and now inside the red zone again at the 8-yard line, 1st and goal. Handoff, Streeter running left. He's going to get bowled over by Douglas, and another tackle was helped by Zachary Bates. And now St. Louis pinned against their own end zone for the 2nd time in 2 drives.
Well, now this is an issue. You know that they have a potent offense. You know they have a strong running back. You have to figure out plays of which to call that are balancing at each.
Streeter up the middle to the 3. Another tackle by Douglas. This time helped by Bates again, but also Chad Longstreet was in on the tackle.
Just keep finding where exactly in the hat count St. Louis has the weaker amount of personnel, and they continue to go at it.
And they continue to put this I formation on the field that is working so far. Streeter again, up the middle. Did he get into the end zone? Yes, he did. Put it on the board. 2nd effort for the touchdown. London up 2 scores in the 1st quarter.
I mean, they keep winning the battle up front in the trenches. And another tough run here by Reggie Streeter, just pushing the pile. Look at this. Absolutely muscles through and gets into the end zone for the touchdown.
Ethan Kai may have thought he'd stopped him a yard short, but Reggie Streeter said, no, that's my end zone, and I'm taking it to the house. And On for another extra point is Nate Odell. As with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter, it's been all London Knights so far. It's up and good. So with 40 seconds to go in the first quarter, London 14, St. Louis nothing. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Quick shout-outs before we get the next drive going. Rob Roby, Gerald Smith, Shane Marchione, Liam Crowder, Thomas Paternitti, Mahmoud Ajalani, Tyrone Jones, and everybody else watching us on the SFL network on YouTube. Thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon, or I guess evening, with us in London, as it's about 7:30 here where we are. And a good afternoon to everybody else watching back in the States, as Swaim takes the return up to the 30-yard line, and the offense from the St. Louis Gladiators have got to get something going, and soon.
Well, at this point, being down this many scores early, you're going to have to just throw out the initial script of your game plan and just try to gain some points back on this drive, preferably with some passing.
It's time for the #1 overall pick in the draft to step up, Moody Mitchell. He's going to be dropped back to pass on first down, throws to the far side. Oh, Nick Finch got the pass and a first down, as I slowly turn it into Mon Simeon, but Nick Finch gets up to the 47-yard line and moves the chains.
Well, this right here is a play similar to what DR Sim would do. Just grab it on the outside and take it to his defender.
And Shane Marchione in the chat says it's 6:30 a.m. in Australia. Well, good morning, and thank you for tuning in to Simulation Football League. We really appreciate you watching. Two backs alongside Mitchell in the gun and three receivers. First and 10 from the 47. Floated out to Nick Finch, who makes a catch for 3 yards and then steps out of bounds on the St. Louis sideline.
Nick Finch is one of those reliable possession receivers. Ever since he joined the league as a replacement in week, I believe 5, was it, of season 10, he has been an incredible tool for St. Louis to gain these tough yards when they need him in third down situations. So, wonderful player for St. Louis.
2nd and 7. Mitchell back to pass. Under pressure, has to step up in the pocket. Throws. It's caught. What a stretching catch by Cody Scott. He's close to the first down. He did not get there. In part thanks to a great tackle by Malcolm Tucker. That's the end of the first quarter. London 14, St. Louis nothing. It's been all nights early, but the Gladiators are looking to strike back. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. You know the old saying, Levant, good time flies when you're having fun. That first quarter flew by. And now, key third down play here. Mitchell pumps, looks, throws, complete. Cody Scott, big tight end play down to the London 31-yard line and into plus territory for the first time in the game. 2 straight catches for Scott.
We're finally getting Cody Scott involved in this offense. Let's look at this play again. This is quick out, just pump fake to the defender out to the outside, shifted the whole defense to the weak side and left Scott open.
And I must say, it was a great tackle out there in the flat by Dean Maddox. Cody Scott is not an easy man to bring down at the easiest of times. Now trips left, single right, hand off Diaz up the middle. He shook one tackle and then got run over in the hole. And he'll pick up 5 yards on first down. And I think they really need Diaz to get going if they want to get back into this game. They need those big chunk runs on first and second down.
If only just to get the offense going. They didn't really utilize him on the first 2 drives and couldn't get their passing game started. So incorporating him needs to be a consideration at this point in the game.
Mitchell handoff Diaz. He makes a cut. He shakes 1 tackle. He shakes 2 tackles down to the 16-yard line. And speak of the devil, there he is. Denzel Diaz moves the chains and puts the Gladiators in the SFL red zone for the first time today.
At only 5'6" and being so, bottom heavy, he's very hard to bring down.
He has had 200 yards in the first 2 games of the season, along with 4 touchdowns. So he's just continuing a hot start to the season as a pass out there to Afalabi, or Ajaluni rather, as he picks up 9 on first down. 2nd down and 1 from the 8.
This is more of the rhythm and flow St. Louis wanted at the beginning of the game, and now they're starting to get into it. Now they're in the red zone after 3 big plays. Let's see how they finish up this drive.
Now from the 8-yard line, 2nd and 1. Mitchell to Diaz. Can he get the first down? No. Great tackle individually on the outside by Dean Maddox. Oh, that's right. That's even Arthur making another impressive solo tackle in his debut.
Like I said earlier, Diaz is one of those running backs that are really hard to bring down. You really have to get down in there and tackle low to get at him.
Power formation here, but Mitchell gonna throw. Mitchell under pressure, down he goes! That's how you stall a drive as the sack comes through for Davidson.
It was just left unblocked, really. Whatever was going on there was just an absolute mistake by the offensive line. You don't let someone with the relentless pressure that William Davidson could provide, just let him free. Like, he went out to lunch. Where did he go? Where's the O-line there?
Now Graham Northrop's going to have to try a 30-yard field goal to salvage something from the drive. It is up and right down Main Street, so field goal good. So points on the board for the Gladiators, but definitely not what they would have wanted from this drive. They only grabbed 3. But Graham Northrop continues to shine at the special teams position for the Gladiators. 8 minutes, 8 seconds to go, 2nd quarter. London leads St. Louis 14-3. Michael Truillo, Levant Mercer in the booth here at Queensway Stadium in London, England, bringing you all of the action of the Simulation Football League's Week 3. Short kick up to the 20-yard line and return to the 35. Decent starting position as Dottie Hands makes the return. And now I think all eyes are going to be on the St. Louis defense as they've given up back-to-back long drives capped off with a Reggie Streeter touchdown.
It just feels like what I mentioned earlier is it feels like they've been selling out for the pass and just haven't been expecting Streeter to really, do what he has done so far in this game.
Pass over the middle. Oh, what a slant route right down the seam to Ken McCarro. He makes his first catch of the game and picks up a first down at midfield.
Well, let's not forget little Kenny McCarro down here. Let's look at Rob setting up in a pocket. He has enough time and just zips it over to McCarro. It looks like the defense was caught napping there, just stood in their place again and just gave just an easy amount of time for McCarro to get through.
Ethan Kai came on the safety blitz, but left that hole open for McCarro to run into. And they pick up some easy yardage and get to midfield. Roby, empty backfield on 1st and 10. He's going to throw out there, tipped, and incomplete. Colin Douglas showing why he is one of the best corners in the Simulation Football League.
Well, that right there is the difference between a completion, interception, or touchdown. Let's look at Colin Douglas's just absolute blanketing of this receiver. It was behind the play. If he didn't get his hand up in time. So look at his footwork here. Sees the ball, tracks it down, gets a hand up right in time. Right in time. If he doesn't, that's a touchdown for London.
You gotta think that people would stop throwing towards Douglas, but they do, and he keeps making interceptions. He has none this season, but I'm sure that he will get some in the near future. Roby. Deep drop, plenty of time. Now the pressure comes and he's going to go down. First sack for the Gladiators in the game, and it comes at the hands of Scott Underwood from the defensive end position that forces London all the way back to their own side of the field at the 42.
Now, if you're a quarterback in that position, you know you have all day to throw the ball. When pressure does finally come, throw the ball away.
Now 3rd down and 18 after the loss of 8 on the play. Roby going to have to really fire it out there, and he's going to have to check it down under pressure to Streeter. And Streeter going to get most of those yards back, actually, but go down still well of the line to gain. So he gained 12 yards on the play, but needed 18, and the first time Phil Hunter will come out and do the punting for the London Knights today.
This is one of those times I feel like if you've finished your route and you're done with it, why don't you just keep going trying to get open? They didn't there, and they left only the check down for Roby. They kind of let him down there.
Well, this is what St. Louis needed, a stop and a chance to claw back in this ball game. 6:32 to go and counting in the first half, but they're going to start from deep in their own end, rather, as the punt was returned by Tito Moss, the wide receiver. Haven't seen him make a catch yet, but he still does big things in the running game. Or the return game, rather, and they're going to start at their own 15-yard line. Mitchell under center on 1st down. Mitchell over the middle. One-handed catch by Nick Finch for 9 yards in triple coverage almost. You talked about Nick Finch being the workhorse for this team. You just saw it right there.
Like, when in doubt, just throw out the Finch. Seems to be key for them today. Look at it again. One-handed. Just snagged it in front of everyone.
Was right in front of Robin Murdoch, who looked set to almost pick that ball off if Finch wasn't aware, and now trips right, single left, 2nd and 1. Here's the handoff. Diaz, but Davidson stuffs him in the backfield, and he's going to lose a yard. William Davidson has a sack already today, and now 2 tackles for loss. They're outside of that.
Well, this is what you need out of your defensive tackle. The main point of the position, the main focal point of them on the defensive line is actually primarily to stop runs, and that's what he did there. He did his job.
Now 3rd and 2. They'll flip. He trips. Oh, Davidson in the backfield again, and he had hit Streeter almost before he grabbed the ball out of Mitchell's hands. Offensive line goes out to lunch, 2 plays in a row. Drive stalls for St. Louis.
Just has this explosive jump out of the line. You just see the motor this guy has. As soon as the ball is snapped, within a second, he already reaches Diaz.
Punting from his own 10-yard line is Zabrowski, and it's going to be good field position for London inside St. Louis territory at the 46, 5 minutes and 1 second to go in the first half. And Rob Roby, he trudges back out onto the field again. And this just puts more pressure on the St. Louis defense because now they've got less room to work with. They did get a stop on the last drive, but they gave up about 30 yards. And if they do that again, then, you know, they're in field goal range. Handoff, Streeter, 1st down going nowhere. Tackle made by a gaggle of white jerseys, including Mo Knowles and Mo Biggins.
Well, one of the key things I saw in that play, besides being able to contain the runner, is at the end you could see the level of fatigue that they're under, the level of the rest that St. Louis is under by continuing to come back out there.
Only a 3-man rush, plenty of time for Roby, and he hits Maccaro over the middle, down to the 23-yard line.
Just check Maccaro here on the slot. The pressure almost gets to Roby, but once again, he just outruns the defenders, gets into the soft spot of the zone, and makes a tough grab.
Now Roby alone in the backfield, 2 receivers each side. 1st and 10 from the 23. Here comes the 3-man rush for London, or for St. Louis again. Going to the end zone, knocked away. Big hands from Drew Reilly. And it'll be 2nd down and 10.
really, man? You got to throw it that way? That's what he just said, because look at that pass. That was intended for the wrong way. If I didn't see anyone open on that side there.
Pass was intended for Maccaro, but it was a very big underthrow by Roby. This time he's going to give it to Streeter. Left side hole, and he powers through for a gain of 7 yards, eventually tackled by Reilly, who makes 2 consecutive plays.
One of those things I noticed out of London is that anytime Roby is about to, be a little shaken up by the play before him or anything, they just give it right back to Streeter, give him enough time to regroup, gather his thoughts, and come back out there again.
Now 3rd and 3. Do they go to the ground or the air here? Roby hands to Streeter, who stood up in the backfield by Zachary Bates. The drive stalls at the 16-yard line, and it's going to be a chance for Nate Odell to kick his first 3-pointer of the game.
Well, London still had a very good drive, ending it with points, and they have been controlling the clock with their dominating running game.
Kick from about, let's say, 34, 33 yards is on the way. And it's right down Main Street as London adds to their lead. With 2:54 to go in the first half, London leads St. Louis 17-3. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us. And when we were talking pre-game, Levant, we kind of expected there to be a lot more points than there currently are right now.
I mean, it would have seemed so. You would have expected St. Louis to have, they put up 28 last week. You would have thought they would have come out with a lot more fire into this game. But, sometimes your drives just stall and your game plan just doesn't come to fruition as you would expect.
And I give a lot of credit to the London defense. They've really come in and played well, especially William Davidson and Slyn Shady. They've been in the backfield all game long and disrupting the young quarterback Moody Mitchell's timing, and it's really showed, as you can see it on the scoreboard. But as well, St. Louis only has 1 drive that has ventured into London territory.
And the sack by Slyn on the first drive, they haven't really been getting it going on offense. St. Louis hasn't.
Moody alone in the backfield here on 1st and 10 from their own 28, throws out to Finch, and Finch will pick up 5 yards. He is 5 for 5 on receptions today. I think that's the man that Mitchell's got to go to if they want to claw their way back into this game.
Well, they're going to have to decide to key in on this fact and get him some deeper routes downfield, try to sever the defense with what has been working so far today.
Offset eye on 2nd and 5. Handoff. Diaz almost broke a tackle, but he's dragged down from behind after a gain of 3. Sets up a very manageable 3rd and 2. But I say that, but last time they were in a 3rd and 2nd and short, William Davidson sort of wreaked havoc on the entire team. So we shall see what happens here.
I mean, most of their drives have stalled just because the offensive line just hasn't been able to protect anything today.
Mitchell to Finch, first down, and that'll bring us to the Quip 2-minute warning here of the first half. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Minutes to go. A fresh set of downs for the St. Louis Gladiators. A chance to pull back the score before the half. Offset eye with 2 receivers left. Mitchell looks. Mitchell throws left. Mitchell complete. Only going to get about 2 yards that time to Truckee Steck. The fullback and Quip Design delivers simple ways to keep your mouth healthy with timed vibrations. Brush head refills for $5, refilled every 3 months, and covered for life with free shipping for life. Use the link posted in chat, and your purchase will help support the SFL through our partnership. Quip, a more wholesome, clean handoff. Diaz, and he's brought down to the backfield again. Blake Craze got him this time.
You know, he was in the Pro Bowl last season. He was one of the leading tacklers on Indianapolis, making his first big play here for London. And you got to know why they brought him in. Plays like that, stuff up runs. He's always around the ball carrier. And that was just a great play by Craze there to get to the outside before Diaz could.
5 wide on 3rd and 10 to continue the drive here from their own 41. Mitchell, pressure in his face, gets the pass away. It's a diving catch inside London territory. Oh, wow, Badir Ajalani.
You know, I was almost expecting to say Finch again, but, you know, here's the thing about Ajalani. Look at this level route running he just has. Look at the footwork he had to get open, get downfield, and make a tough grab. The ball was a little low, still got there, made a safe grab, and now St. Louis might have a chance at some points here.
They called their first timeout with 57 seconds to go. 1st and 10 at the London 38 after that big catch by Afalati. Pass to Diaz on the far side. He's got room to run, and he's going to pick up 6 yards, and they'll bring the hurry-up offense out. They still have 2 timeouts. And now down to about 40 seconds before they snap the ball here. It's 38, 37, 36, come on now, 35 seconds when they finally snap the ball out to the far side. Pass caught, first down to the London 25. There's Nick Finch making another catch along the sideline.
I do understand the need to hurry up, but at the same time, with the way St. Louis's play, if the quarterback does need more time to read the defense, I'm all for it. They have 2 timeouts remaining. It was fine how they dealt with it, I felt.
First down at the 25-yard line, 30 seconds to go in the first half. Oh, almost a one-handed catch by Truckee Steck, and he would have been gone. There was a clear lane to the end zone right up the middle. The pass was just a bit behind him.
Now, I get that you're motivated by how Finch has been doing and all, but there's just sometimes just take a normal approach to the game. That right there, he was trying to do too much, and instead of going to the end zone, he goes right back in the huddle, telling his guys, my bad.
2nd and 10 now, 28 seconds to go. Trips right, single left. Mitchell back to pass. Mitchell fires it towards Finch, and it's tipped and incomplete. Or Cody Scott, rather, was out there in about triple coverage, maybe quadruple coverage if you count the safety.
Well, he's going to have to do a bit of counting himself, because I feel like as a quarterback, if you see the amount of defenders and opposing jerseys are greater than the amount of your guys, don't throw it there. You'll be fine.
All right, another 3rd and 10. There's another magic in the hat for St. Louis, and yes, there is. And his name is Nick Finch, down to the 5-yard line. A beautiful dime, that time from Moody Mitchell to find his star receiver.
Apparently, that holds true unless your name is Nick Finch, because, you know, there were 2. But this man sometimes counts as 2 whole wide receivers, because look at this pass right here. Just muscles through and makes another great grab through the middle.
Split the safeties right down the middle, and now with a timeout and 19 seconds to go, they've got 2 or 3 shots at the end zone here. Mitchell changes the play. Mitchell, plenty of time to the end zone. It is. Is it caught? Yes, it is. It's caught for a touchdown. The referee's arms didn't go up right away, but now, put it on the board. The green and gold are back in this game. It's Nick Finch again.
Well, just look at this great acrobatic catch. This is all him, by himself. Slides in like it's baseball, and he's safe. But
uh-oh. Hold on. Let's take a look. It's the Harry's Close Shave, Close Call Challenge, initiated by the booth here on the touchdown. And did he get the foot in bounds? Oh, I think he's in. The back foot definitely dragging there.
After review, the play stands. The pass was complete.
And we have a stood play and a touchdown for St. Louis. As it's a game right now, as after the extra point, it's going to be a 1-score, 1-touchdown deficit for St. Louis. London does get the ball in the second half, but the last, 5, maybe even 7 or 8 minutes, St. Louis has swung the momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, but that diving catch by Finch, they're now back into the ball game, and Finch has just generally been the catalyst that have driven his team. Let's give some props to Moody Mitchell. He's the one throwing the ball to him, but the man getting himself open has put them in a position to come back into this game.
From shave sets to handles, Harry's provides quality craftsmanship. Made in Germany, we make Harry's products from the finest materials and ingredients to ensure they perform as well as they possibly can. Use the coupon code SimulationFL at purchasefromharrys.com, and a portion of your purchase supports the SFL. Harry's, the official razor of the Simulation Football League, as the return from Donnie Hands up to the London 35. And I saw some mentions in the chat of the top 10 plays of the week. And any of those catches, the 2 by Finch or the 1 by Angelani, could be up there in contention for the play of the week.
I really like the diving catch there by Finch at the end that we just saw, personally.
Reggie Streeter runs up the middle, and we will go to the break as the seconds tick away. Whoa, they're going to call a timeout with 3 seconds to go? And maybe there was a disconnection from the coaching staff to the players on the field, and maybe the players thought they were just going to run the clock out. The coaching staff wanted to go for it. As you see, Roby getting an earful on the sideline right there.
Or maybe the earful is that he didn't mean to call timeout and he just couldn't hear what it was saying. Sometimes in those helmets, you actually can't hear what's being said.
So now, with 3 seconds to go in the half, London lines up for another play. And they're going to run the play clock all the way down, snap, and hand it off to Streeter. And another timeout with 1 second to go. What's happening?
If you're going to run why don't you just... All right, so here's what I don't understand. If you want to call a timeout, and not go to the half, throw a Hail Mary. Try to, extend your lead. Why would you give it to the running back? If you're going to give it to the running back, don't call timeouts. Just get to the half. It's simple.
We do have official word for the league. Sorry to cut you off there. The league reviewed the touchdown play from headquarters following the 1 foot rule. Finch's right foot never touched out of bounds as he kept it up long enough to tap the right foot in, so it was a good touchdown, and now it's an interception as they throw on the final play. Colin Douglas gets his first pick of the year, and that will end the half as a little bit of a farcical end to the first half here in London.
This is just one of those, you know what, let me solve it for you. Here, I'm just going to take it from you. You don't need the ball anymore. Let's just go to the half.
That'll do it for the first half from Queensway in London. Knights 17, Gladiators 10. We will be back after the break. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Welcome back to Queensway in the great city of London, England. The hometown London Knights seeking their first win of the year, up by 7 on the visiting St. Louis Gladiators, a matchup that has been called a friendly rivalry earlier today by Matthew Slynn. And I don't think both teams on the field right now would consider this game friendly.
No, I don't. Anytime a teams consider to have a rivalry with each other on the field, it's never friendly.
Big tackle by Bo Knowles on special teams as Donnie hands up to the 33-yard line. I'm your play-by-play commentator Michael Trillo, joined by Levant Mercer in the booth here today in London. Well, tonight, rather. It's just about 8 p.m. local time here. Stands full of red and white clad faithful to watch their London Knights try to pick up their first win of the year. 4 wide for Rob Roby on the first play of the second half, and Roby dumps it short over the middle, and it's incomplete. As converging on the football was Jamu Afalabi. Zachary Bates was also there, as well as Drew Reilly.
That's just one of those times, just look at where Balmer is here, that you were just led to die. Look at that right there. Just could not see the convergent defenseman there and absolutely just took the soul out of the ball out of his hands.
These two teams played twice last season. One at the convention, the game that we called, was incredibly entertaining, and I'll finish my thought here after the 2nd down and 10 play. From the London 33, handoff Streeter right side. He's going to lose a yard as he was driven under. A great play by the defense there. Gunnar Remington making the tackle on the safety blitz. And the SFL is proudly sponsored by MediaTek Institute. Visit mediatek.edu. Turn your passion into your profession. MeUndies, the world's most comfortable underwear for men and women. Movement, premiers, watches, sunglasses, and accessories. As down the field goes Macaro. As I'm reading the adverts, he picks up big yardage and gets into St. Louis territory at the 43.
Well, talk about moving here. Look at this. Absolutely shreds the defender once again. All day he's just been gaining some significant yards by his route running, and has just been a catalyst for this offense today.
And SFL is sponsored by Movement, premium watches, sunglasses, and accessories. I'll finish that one out before we continue. 1st and 10. Roby stands in, fires over the middle. That pass is complete. Give him 9 yards and close to a first down. Another catch for Donnie Hands.
Just go ahead.
And this is starting to look a lot like one of those drives that London had early in the first half where the St. Louis defense has no answer. But we shall see. 2nd down and inches. A wide open 4-wide set with no running backs. Is down the field. What a catch in traffic. 1st down and more. Give it to Charlie Balmer. He's been big from the tight end spot today, and he moves the chains for the Knights.
Well, now they're selling out against the run. You know what you do? Now that you've opened up the passing lanes, you throw the ball. Balmer here making a great grab. But let's give it up to Roby, who is now kind of getting settled into this game. He's more poised in the pocket, it seems. He's having better control of his passes, too.
Roby low snap, moves in the pocket, fires down the middle, and James Hands has the catch inside the SFL, presented by APM Music Red Zone, all the way down to the 4-yard line.
That right there is just your typical quick slant, and ran it to perfection. Roby, now that he's more confident with his passing, just zips it right to him. And now they're poised to probably get another score.
Reggie Streeter up the middle. He'll get a yard to the 3 before he's tackled by Ethan Kai. This drive feels like a statement of intent from London. Like, you had the momentum at the end of the first half. We are taking it right back, and let's see if they can capitalize here. 8:03 to go, third quarter and counting. 4 wide with Streeter next to Roby in the backfield. Roby to the end zone, and it's out of bounds. He led James Hands just a bit too far. It's going to be 3rd and goal.
You know, it was a bit interesting to see St. Louis line up in the nickel, but it was a particular nickel formation. They had a couple linebackers out there ready to stop the run if need be. It was a very good play call by St. Louis, I feel.
I formation on 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. They give it to Streeter, and Streeter hits pay dirt, put it on the board. He weaves his way into the end zone, and the Knights go up 2 scores again.
Well, this right here has just been a phenomenal day for Streeter. Let's look at this play right here again. Just gets it and has an easy hole to run through. Just, Kai could have attempted to make a tackle there, but he knew it was too late. Streeter, with the wonderful vision to cut backs, get into his lane, and go in for the touchdown.
His 3rd touchdown of the game, Streeter's that is. 2 rushing and 1 receiving. As he adds to his season total. He is now up to 4 touchdowns, no, 5 touchdowns on the season. As I can attempt to do simple math.
As I said at the beginning of the game, this was one of the key elements of an offense they just didn't have last season over at Queensway. They just didn't have the sort of, time-consuming power back that they needed to really drain the heart out of the defense.
There's a penalty flag. MeUndies laundry on the field on the return. First penalty flag of the game. Let's see what it is. It's a holding, and it's probably going to be on St. Louis. And it is. It's on against number 90. That's Levi Eugene. And that was the first MeUndies laundry on the field of the day. So I need to tell you that MeUndies are the world's most comfortable underwear. Visit MeUndies.com/SimulationFL for 15% off your purchase, which will help support the SFL through our partnership. Give the gift of comfort with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, free shipping and returns, signature soft and stretchy MeUndies. Mitchell flares it to Diaz, and Diaz loses 2 yards in the backfield as he's bowled over by Blake Craze.
It was just a coverage play there. There was absolutely nothing downfield. Because he has been pressured all day, he knows he doesn't have all day to decide if there's nothing down there. Goes to his check down, and the defense swarmed him.
Blake Craze is having a great day along with the rest of this London front line. Mitchell looking for a pass. He flares out to the far side. Nick Finch rumbles down the field and carries defenders with him. He carried both Even Arthur and Slyn Shady for about 5 yards and picks up a 1st down.
That's not easy to do. Just look at this again. You know the difference in size here, but a wide receiver dragging a perennial Pro Bowler in Slyn Shady, that's not something you see every day at all.
Moves the chains for St. Louis, keeps the drive alive at their own 29-yard line. Offset I and 2 receivers right on 1st and 10. Mitchell to throw. Mitchell throws to the right side, has Nick Finch, and he'll pick up 6 yards on 1st down before being tackled by Blake Craze. You mentioned... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
You mentioned London... never mind. We'll get there. We'll get there. 2nd down and 4. Mitchell in the gun. And he's going to delay handoff to Diaz, who's trying to find a lane. And he carries 3 defenders close to a 1st down. His knee was down just short. It's going to be 3rd and less than a yard.
Okay, so I'm good now. So
yes.
Here's the... So that's just...
Sorry. You are not good yet, sir. We have a Harry's close shave, close call challenge, as Dwayne Schindler thinks that he was definitely across the line for a 1st down.
I don't think he was. Just actually, you know what? You got to see where he was marked down at. When does he?
That's so
the first
close. And from that last angle, it was really hard to tell.
That's the first down. It has to.
The call on the field is overturned.
And the call is overturned. Good call by Colin Northrup and Dwayne Schindler, the co-head coaches out there for St. Louis. They pick up the first down without having to lift a finger, and the drive will continue.
You know, when you're in a situation like this, you're down, you're down 14. You really have to take any advantage you can. If you see something, you call it.
Well, Diaz gets bottled up there, lost a yard. Safety blitz that time from Jeff Belinishin, and Blake Craze gets another tackle for loss.
This front seven has really just pushed their strengths today. They've been taking on this offensive line and putting them out the pasture so far.
2nd and 11. Mitchell, plenty of time. He'll dump it short to Diaz, though, and Diaz is barely going to get back to the line of scrimmage. I'm going to give you 3 guesses about who made the tackle on that play, and I don't think you're going to need all 3 guesses.
It was Blake Craze again, wasn't it?
It was Blake Craze again.
I mean, he did this last season for Indianapolis, racking over 80 tackles for them, so, it's a safe bet to make.
3rd down and 11. Mitchell fires down the field into one-on-one coverage. Oh, it's caught by Finch inside the 30. How did he pull that one down? He was matched up one-on-one with Nathan Blake and made him look silly.
Well, I mean, he had to have played baseball before, because he's looking like a center fielder out here today. Look at how he mossed this man. Goes up there and absolutely makes a dominant grab. Look at how high both players went for the ball.
I think half of Nick Finch's catches today could be Plays of the Week nominees, because he's been diving all over the place, sliding in the end zone, going up like he's a outfielder robbing a home run. He's been everywhere today. 1st down in London territory, and he makes another catch, tiptoes the sideline, and gets 4 yards. Nick Finch up to 136 yards and 13 receptions. That is a banner day if ever I've seen one.
He's having a great day, even if his team isn't. He's been trying to really get them back into this game with the way he's been performing.
He has over double the amount of receptions that he had last week. Last week, only 5 receptions for 60 yards, as Diaz is going backwards, and he lost 3 of the 4 yards they gained on the previous play. Slyn Shady in on the tackle. Blake Craze said, all right, I'll give someone else a chance to make a play, and Shady cleaned up.
You do know that Shady's been in the league longer than Craze. I think you got to give the veteran his due here.
3rd down and 9. 2 for 2 on 3rd down so far in this drive. They're going to go to Afolabi. Oh, he made him. He stiff arms and a spin move and a 1st down inside the red zone to the 15-yard line. Badir Ajulani. What a catch and what a run afterwards.
This is all inspired by Finch right here, but look at the absolute demolition there. Takes his hand out there and puts him into the dirt.
And they're
not going to go down without a fight.
I accidentally called Ajabu Afolabi's name instead of Badir Ajulani. Please forgive me on that, both of them. All right, inside the red zone for the 2nd time today. 1st time they were here, they got a... Oh, what a play! He got the ball off as he was being tackled at a 9-yard gain to Ajloni.
Hey, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. I mean, he's been pressured in the pocket all day, and you know he can run.
And St. Louis is going to throw a challenge flag again. They think they have another 1st down. Let's take a look. It's the Harrys. Close shave, close call challenge. And the universe is making up for there being no challenges in the game I called last week for giving me 3 of them. And I think they might lose this one.
No, I don't think so. Well, let's see when he does. When does the knee go down? It goes down backwards. They're going to lose this challenge, I think.
Yeah, but you got to take into account forward progress. It may be a judgment call here, so they got to stay with the call on the field.
The call on the field is overturned.
Oh no, they're going to overturn it again. Another fantastic challenge from the St. Louis coaching staff gives the Gladiators a first down inside the 5. Liam Crowder
really
in the chat says, this drive is insanity. I'm right there with you. First down and goal at the 4. Mitchell looking, pressure in his face, sidearms it to the end zone, and a diving attempt is incomplete. William Davidson was the man in the backfield quickly, as he's been all day, to break up the pass.
You know, in a timely manner, too, because if he couldn't get there, you knew that was going to be a score with the way this drive has been feeling. So great job by Davidson by once again shedding his man and getting in the quarterback's face.
You'd think they might give it to Diaz here, but he's been stuffed pretty much all day. So Mitchell's going to throw again, but he's going to flare it out to Diaz with work to do. Oh, but he does the work brilliantly. What a score. Put it on the board. Denzel Diaz with the stiff arm.
You know, this has just been a dominant drive by St. Louis. They're coming out with some power here. Let's look at this again. You just know defense, when this happens, there's nothing you can do. Just absolutely takes a jab to the face there. Then to the turf he goes. This has been a statement drive by the Gladiators, fighting into the end zone.
What a crazy drive. 2 overturned challenges for first downs by St. Louis. Nick Finch bossing people. Diaz bowling over defenders. This game has just been shot out of a cannon with 3:17 left to go in the third. London still has a 7-point lead. It's 24-17. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. And if you know somebody that's not watching this game, they deserve to be watching this football game right now. Get them in here. We currently have about 25 people watching. Let's build that number up, because I feel that we're in for an exciting last quarter and a change here from London. And I think if you're the Knights here, as hands returns up to the 37, I think it's your job to slow the game down. You know, they took the crowd out of it, St. Louis, with that drive. I think you need to get your home fans back on your side here.
Well, if you know that Reggie Streeters has been having a good day so far, you still have the lead. It's only 3:13 left in the third. You probably want to run the ball, tire out that defense. If you have a 3-and-out here, you're giving them momentum all the way back to St. Louis.
Roby, plenty of time, flares it out to the far side. That's the fullback, and the fullback gets 7 yards, and the fullback's name is Fuller Bacchus.
I don't know whether that goes into the all-name team or not. I'm still debating that. But great play, realizing there's no one downfield. And you know it's pretty tough to bring down a fullback all alone out there.
Yeah, well, we've got great fullback names today with Truckee Steck for St. Louis and Fuller Bacchus for London. As Streeter goes up the middle, he'll get a yard. And it'll be 3rd down and 1. A big tackle made that time by Carter Cannon.
Well, this is time for St. Louis to really buckle down. If they want to control the momentum of this game, they need a critical stop here.
Do you bring pressure here? Do you play coverage? Let's see. Handoff, Streeter. Streeter finds a hole, gets the first down and more. Up to midfield and continues the drive for London. And that was a huge play, because I felt if St. Louis got the ball back right there, they have all the momentum and can continue to chase down this London lead. And now London can continue to slow down the ball game here. 2 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the third quarter.
That's always something that's arguable, whether or not that sort of thing exists, but sometimes I feel like it does.
4 wide receivers, no Reggie Streeter in the game on 1st and 10. Roby short drop throws to the far side. The out route works to perfection, and they get 4 yards through Ken Maccaro. And as much as we praise the Hands brothers, it's really been Ken Maccaro today who's been doing all the little underneath work for London.
Well, sometimes you have to rely on your slot man to get open. That's generally what they're there for is to be a speedy wide receiver who has good enough route running to get themselves open, and that's what he's been all day.
Roby fires near side down the field, tipped by Douglas and almost picked off. It was bobbled and eventually hits the turf. But another underthrow from Roby. He's done that a couple of times. He was looking for James Hands down the sideline.
This is another thing you have to look out for if you're London. You know Colin Douglas is out there. And that's just one of those players you don't want to mess with. He almost took it back, but he just seemed to probably overplay the ball there. He still made a good, he still made a good job of deflecting the pass there, but sometimes you want to make sure you come down with the ball before you decide to run with it.
3 receivers, right, single left on 3rd and 6. They're out of field goal range here at the 46-yard line. Roby floats it up, and this time it's picked off. Drive ends via interception as Ethan Kai grabs the 2nd pick of the game for the Gladiators.
One of the considerations for Pro Bowl snubbed last season right here, Ethan Kai. And look at this right there. Doing his best Nick Finch impersonation, because he gets right up there and snags the ball away.
And the other person in the area was Drew Reilly, and he almost made a claim to that interception himself, but I'm sure that the St. Louis fan base will take it either way. They've got the ball back at their own 33-yard line. Denzel Diaz will get 2 yards on 1st down.
He really hasn't gotten it going, as you see here. He only averages 1.5 yard a carry for 18 yards today. That's vastly different from his over 200-yard day last week, and definitely out of the norm for him.
Trips right, single left, as they've run out of this formation most times today, but they're going to throw this time. Mitchell forced to move in the pocket, floats it out there, and it's almost picked right back. Blake Craze was out there in pass coverage this time against Cody Scott, and Craze with an authoritative win on that one.
Well, not only did he play the ball perfectly, but he also took out his man. There was no chance for that ball to get completed with the way that ball was played.
3rd down and 8, and this could be over just as quick as it started for St. Louis if they don't get 9 yards or more here. Mitchell looks, throws far side to Finch. Did he get there? No, he was a yard short before he stepped out of bounds. And now the St. Louis coaching staff has a call to make. Do they go for it here on 4th and 1?
Well, let's just look at the replay here to see where he had been before the ball went down. I do not believe so. That's 1.5 yards short. I wouldn't risk it now. No matter how well they've been challenging earlier, you really need those timeouts.
There's Zabrowski, and you're right, it's not quite the 4th quarter yet. 30 seconds to go in the 3rd, and your defense has been playing reasonably well here in the 2nd half. So Zabrowski will punt it away. It's going to be our average field position for London pending the return. And here is the return, and a tackle broken down the sideline. One man to beat, and he beats him down the line. There he goes. It's going to be a return touchdown. Put it on the board. London extends the lead again. Jeff Malinishin takes it to the house.
Well, we won't need to know how London was going to come out because they came out firing on the return. Here's Malinishin with all the blocks in the world. The whole just slew of Knights clearing the path for him. Down the sidelines, just pushing through. Ran into his blocker there, but no one was going to stop him on this touchdown crusade.
Knights take the 2-score lead back, and whatever it seems that St. Louis has some momentum and are looking to get back in the game, London just shuts it down, be it through the offense on long drives or now over the special teams with a big Malinishin return. And with 6 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter, that knocked the wind out of the St. Louis Sails.
And that's very much the catalyst. That's very much the type of energy-driven play London needed to take back all the momentum to bring the crowd back into the game.
London 31, St. Louis 17 after that return. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube, and St. Louis, now they got to be desperate with 5 seconds left to go in the third quarter. This return will end the third quarter as Jacob Swaim takes the return up to the 29, and no, they'll get 1 play left in the third quarter. And don't forget, the SFL Blitz Live is on the front page of Twitch next Sunday night. A bunch of teams making front page debuts. Cameron Irvine hosts SFL Blitz Live. They'll be taking a look at all of the action around the league all at once, and a chance to be featured on the Twitch front page. So do not miss it as Mitchell moves in the pocket, has to escape, and he throws the ball away before he is brought down.
Oh, let's give it up to Mitchell just a bit, because I know some of you are wondering, why is he doing so much? I'll get to that.
All right, we've reached the fourth quarter. St. Louis having to pull some magic out of the hat to win this one. London in control. It's 31-17. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Stay with us, and we thank all of you that have been watching. And I've noticed since that last drive, we've had about 10 more people join the stream, so welcome in if you're watching some other SFL games or you're just joining us for the first time. Welcome to the SFL broadcast booth. Nick Finch will get 5 yards on first down and an out route, and that's just deja vu at this point.
Yeah, Nick Finch is just having a great day out here with 148 yards on 15 receptions, and he's just been the key figure for St. Louis today, but they really need to find some of the energy they found on the last drive to get downfield and not let that kick return that London just scored get to them.
Handoff up the middle, Diaz. Oh, he runs over a man and keeps going up to the 43-yard line. And if he hadn't been caught up on his own defender, he might have been gone. Good run there. Hard running up the middle from Diaz.
Still a great run by Diaz, but as you see here, he just kind of gets caught up between a blocker, and if he really didn't have any time anymore to bounce it to the outside. You can't really blame him there, but, you know, sometimes that's just really unfortunate when that happened.
1st and 10. Still picked up the first down, though. From the 43, Mitchell to Diaz with some work to do. He breaks one tackle, can't break the second one, gets 3 yards. As Slim Shady makes the tackle.
You know, sometimes there's just too much coverage downfield, and Mitchell has been getting better at recognizing that. Because earlier in the game, he was just taking needless sacks, but at least he's starting to recognize that, get the ball away, get the ball to his check down. So
handoff, Diaz brought down after a gain of only 2. Dean Maddox, even Arthur were in on the tackle. And now another clutch third down coming up here for the Gladiators. They need to get 5 yards. They're at their own 49-yard line. 1 receiver each side. Mitchell throws. Finches! Oh no, that's Cody Scott is wide open for a first down. Tight ends matter. And Mike Daggs is happy that this particular tight end has a first down and keeps the drive alive for St. Louis.
Not only that, you knew that the whole defense was shifted over to Finch's side, expecting that, and forgot about the tight end coming across on the out.
Mitchell to Diaz, one-handed grab, and he's going to get 4 yards before Slim Shady makes another tackle. It's been linebacker city for the London defense tonight. Both Craze and Shady have been making plays on almost every snap.
That's honestly, you got to do what works, and if that's what's been working for you, got to keep going back to it. You have nothing else to do, St. Louis.
High formation on 2nd and 6. Another out route to Diaz, and he's going to be stood up again. Blake Craze was there, as was Dean Maddox. And, well, now it's another important third down and long here, 3rd and 7.
Here, they're just gonna design a way to probably get Finch to pull some defenders and get Angelani open. Here's wondering.
Mitchell down the middle of the field, tipped it incomplete. Malinishin scored the touchdown on special teams, then he prevents the touchdown on defense, and the punting team is out again for the Gladiators.
Well, they did do what I thought they might have attempted because of the amount of time Finch has been targeted, but it just didn't work there. You know Malinishin is a bit of a ball hawk down there, and he made some big plays today, and he made another one there for London. Probably sealed this game.
7 minutes, 51 seconds to go in the ball game. Malinishin makes a spin move at his own 10-yard line and gets to the 17. It is time now for the out-of-town scoreboard presented by ScoreStream. Earlier in the week on Friday, Alaska beat Tallahassee 26-10 in the championship game rematch. Tallahassee is now 0-3 on the season. I'll get to the rest of the score updates after this first play. 1st and 10 from the London 17-yard line. Handoff, Streeter tackled right at the line of scrimmage and fell forward for a yard. Here's the rest of the out-of-town score updates. On Saturday, Mexico City grinded out a defensive win against Houston 13-6, and going on right now, it's the fourth quarter with Dallas barely leading Oklahoma City 24-23. Carolina over Atlanta 20-17. They're in the fourth quarter, and Vancouver is all over Chicago 35-3 in the fourth quarter in British Columbia. 2nd and 9. Roby to the far side. Donnie Hands will grab 6 yards and get a 3rd down and 3. And tomorrow, do not miss SFL action on MLK Day as Queen City is in New Orleans. Tulsa hosts Indianapolis, and Baltimore hosts Sioux Falls. That was the out-of-town score update presented by ScoreStream. Download the ScoreStream app from the iTunes or Android App Store to keep abreast of all things SFL. 3rd down and 3, 6:55 to go. Handoff, Streeter. Did he get the first down? No. Less than a yard short as Bo Knowles made the tackle.
That's not something we've often heard all day about Streeter. So we got to give credit to the St. Louis defense finally getting a stop and getting the ability to get the ball back in possibly favorable field position.
Phil Hunter is punting from his own 15-yard line. Kick is away cleanly. It'll be fielded at, it was a booming punt, fielded at about the 35, and down at the 37 is the return. Tito Moss, and so St. Louis with some work to do. Moody Mitchell with definitely some work to do. And, you know, this is the moment where a young rookie could make a big name for himself to lead a couple of big drives here towards the end of this football game. 6 minutes, 17 seconds to go. St. Louis going right to left here in the fourth quarter, starting at their own 37. Diaz, he broke one tackle, and it took 3 defenders to finally bring him down as he picked up 4 yards.
No, with the amount of time that's remaining on the clock, I wouldn't mind if they used it more in the passing game like they did on the last drive, but I feel like the time for running the ball is over.
We're down to 6 minutes, under 6 minutes now, as 5 minutes, 50 seconds to go. 2nd down and 6. Mitchell, pressure, hit as he threw, and it was almost picked off. It was intended for Nick Finch, but it was he was shepherded away from the football by Slyn Shady.
Normally, that's a matchup you want to see on offense. If the linebacker's matched up with your wide receiver, but considering he's been thrown to all day and is probably fatigued, and he's going against the perennial Pro Bowl linebacker in Slyn Shady, that's a possible result.
5 wide, 3rd and 6. Mitchell throwing long behind the defense, and he overthrew Badir Ajloni.
And that's just a critical mistake. He did not have a good enough presence of where Auchelani was, and he just threw a rocket to nowhere.
And Ajaluni would have had a walk-in touchdown. He had 6 or 7 steps on his defender. But that might be the icing on the cake for the London Knights to get their first win of the year, as we're just about under 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go, with the Knights getting the ball back up 2 scores. Fair catch by Milinishin at the 30-yard line. Quick chat shout-outs here in the fourth quarter. Mahmoud Ajlani, Thomas Dewar, Liam Crowder, Matthew Slynn. Reggie Streeter is in the house, along with Simulation FL. Cam is chatting away in the chat as well. Rob Roby, Dwayne Schindler, Zachary Bates, and everybody else watching us on the SFL Network on YouTube. We thank you for spending your Sunday with us, as Reggie Streeter gets a carry off the left side for 2 yards.
At this point for London, the key is just to run down the clock, do what you did in the first quarter with Streeter, pound the rock, and just take the game home. Don't do anything silly to give St. Louis a chance.
Second down at 8. Penalty flags fly. It's MeUndies laundry on the field, as it looks like a little over-eager there on the St. Louis defender side. And it will be offsides called against St. Louis and against number 77. That's Shane Masters, and he's been oddly quiet on the defensive line for St. Louis today.
Well, you saw that they were, audibly out of their defensive play to match better with the personnel that they were lined up with. And in the middle of that communication, Shane must have heard something wrong. He probably heard the cadence wrong, or he thought what his defense was saying was the cadence and went offsides.
So now second down and 3, just makes it a little bit easier for London to pick up the first. Roby to throw underneath, almost picked again. And I say, St. Louis has missed about 4 or 5 clear picks today. I know they've got 2, but Colin Douglas missed a big one. Ethan Kai has one. Drew Reilly missed a big one. Ajamu Afalabi missed a big one. So this could be a very different game if some of those interceptions had been made. 3rd and 3 now. Look to see a heavy dose of Streeter here. You will. Streeter up the middle, and he's not going to get there. Great safety blitz by Ethan Kai. Spying the running back all the way, and picks up the tackle. Only 1 yard gain, and that was 1 yard less than they needed. So St. Louis is going to get the ball back with about 4 minutes to go. And a penalty flag. MeUndies laundry on the field, as we will see what this flag is. Oh, it's a false. It's encroachment against the Gladiators. They weren't even close to snapping the ball.
Once again, a miscommunication on defense. Now that changes this from a punt to a London first down. And that's terrible discipline by St. Louis.
And that is probably your ball game here, as St. Louis really needed that next drive. And now they're not going to get it, as a fresh set of downs for London. Streeter will rumble forward for 2 yards, make that 3 yards when they finally spot the ball. 4:25 to go and counting. And
I understand the defense has been out there most of this game, but you can't have communication errors. Your ears don't get tired, do they?
2nd and 7. And they will just run the clock all the way down before they snap the ball here. Roby hands to Streeter, looking for a lane, breaks a tackle, and gets 5 yards. 3rd and 2 coming up, as we have a final from British Columbia. Chicago has been decimated, 38-3 by the Vancouver Legion. And stepping away from this enthralling game for a second, Levant, that's crazy. We haven't seen many blowouts this year, have we?
No, and you know, I feel like the league is better off for having more competitive games this season.
But Vancouver going against the script there. Streeter on 3rd and 2. He'll make a man miss and get a first down into St. Louis territory at the 44. And as we roll down to under 3 minutes to go now, it'll be about 3 minutes and 35 seconds when they next snap the ball. Yeah, I think that this one is well and truly in the London win column, barring some miracle. So 1st and 10 from the St. Louis 44. Roby under center, offset eye behind him. He'll hand to Streeter. Streeter running right. He'll be bottled up in the backfield and dropped by Ethan Kai along with Drew Reilly. And I realized that I never talked about what the teams are wearing today. The uniform announcement as the Road Gladiators are wearing gold helmets, white jerseys, silver pants with green socks and green and silver trim. And the home London Knights, white helmets, burgundy jerseys, white pants, burgundy socks with yellow trim. That brings us to the final Quip 2-minute warning of the ball game. London has this steadily in hand with a 31-17 lead. This is the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Wind down from Queensway in London, Michael Turillo, Levant Mercer here with you to take in all the action, and what an action-packed game it has been as St. Louis uses their first timeout after that run. It's, the SFL is sponsored by Quip, by Richards Printworks, the official design team of the SFL, ScoreStream, the official score updates app of the SFL, and Spygoat, the sound choice for sound reinforcement. Roby back to pass on 3rd and 10, running throw complete underneath, nowhere near the first down. St. Louis loses their second timeout.
You know, it's been an interesting theme this season has been how Tallahassee reminds me of, you know, Mexico City that one season where they also started 0-3. Mind you, Mexico City still made the playoffs, and I feel like out of all the 0-3 teams, Tallahassee has a chance to come back.
Kick is away from Phil Hunter. Bounces down at the 5, down to the 3, and out at the 3. Great special teams coverage. And the London Knights have pretty much won in every facet of the game today. Special teams, offense, and defense.
Yeah, that really does seem to be the case. They had a bit of a scare in the middle quarters of this game, but that kickoff return by Malinishin really sealed the game for them.
We have another score final from around the league. Atlanta 24, Carolina 20.
I almost thought that was going to be a safety there, seeing McDonald come off the edge, but they got the ball off in time. That was really risky, and I understand it's the 4th quarter and all, but you're backed up against your own end zone. Just run the ball, at least in this instance, to get out from the shadow of it.
A minute 41 to go in the first quarter. St. Louis has one timeout left. They're back up inside their own 3-yard line. Mitchell escapes, floats it up to Finch, and Finch is tackled. Is that a safety? It's a safety. Finch ran backwards into the end zone and picks up a safety as Nathan Blake tackled him. Wow.
You can't slide out of this one. He slid into the end zone. What are you doing? Safety. London closes out this game and gets the ball back.
I mean, he slid now into 2 end zones. Just one of them was the wrong one. The kick is returned up to the 46 by Hands, and yeah, that will put the final nail in the St. Louis coffin tonight. Well, we can't say that this game has not been extremely entertaining.
You know, that's been the theme of this season as well. This season has had a lot of oddities, and that was a new one. I've never seen that before.
And the kneel down as St. Louis uses their final timeout. Earlier, when I was going over the out-of-town scoreboard, I did fail to mention a game on Monday night. And that is the undefeated Denver Nightwings at the undefeated San Francisco Sharks. 2 teams that I don't think nobody thought were going to be in this position coming into the season, as they battle on Monday night for the top of the standings. And that's along with Sioux Falls at Baltimore, Indiana at Tulsa, and Queen City at New Orleans. That's coming up on Monday night. Do not miss any of the SFL action, as another kneel down by London, and I think one more will just about do it.
Well, on the flip side of the standings, I know I got into Tallahassee earlier, but here, of all the 2-0 or 3-0 teams, I find San Francisco to be the most peculiar team on this list. You know, they faced the team that Denver shared in common, and it was London.
And London lost both of those games. They're going to pick up their first win here today as the kneel goes down. They're going to have to, I don't know what they're going to do on 4th down. Maybe punt it away or run a run play or something, but they barely didn't time this right. And Matthew Slynn says it's 3-0 to London in the Fish and Ribs rivalry. Yes, it is. As last season, London beat St. Louis twice. Once 35-27 at the convention. That was the one we were on the call for, Levant. And then the other time was a close one, 17-16. But the Knights did win both games, and now they're 3-0 all-time against the Gladiators. 7 seconds left for the Gladiators to run a play. They'll start from their own 20. And, I mean, there's not much more to say, really. St. Louis had a chance in the 3rd quarter. They had a really good end of the 2nd quarter and start to the 3rd quarter, but the end of the 3rd quarter and the entirety of the 4th was all London's. As they close out this game well and take a comfortable 33-17 win. The final tackle is made. The clock hits zeros. Game over. The London Knights move to 1-2 on the season. The St. Louis Gladiators also move to 1-2 on the season. Final stats and highlights will scroll across your screen. Levant, final thoughts on today's game.
While Nick Finch and the St. Louis Gladiators had a decent day on offense, they just could not stop the potent running game of Reggie Streeter, and were finally deflated at the end of the game by a return by Jeff Milinishin, and that is that for me.
Thank you, Levant. For Levant Mercer and our entire broadcast crew here from Queensway in London, England, we say a good evening and cheerio, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.